Hi, welcome to One Day at a Time. Thank you all for being here today and welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you. Welcome each one of you. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a discussion on a video that was sent to me in regards to a narcissistic father's behaviour with his daughter and to what I believe is his ex-partner, the mother of the child. I won't say names for privacy reasons, but this was quite disturbing to watch the way this father manipulated this young girl. And she wasn't a little girl, she was either a teenager or a young adult. We're going to be talking about that one today. The video was a bit disturbing to watch. This was a grown man with a young adult child, teenager or a young adult, going into the backyard of what I would believe would be the mother or the ex-partner's house or property. The video shows you them approaching her back veranda with a sign. The young girl's holding a sign in her hand. I wasn't quite able to read what was on the sign, but judging by the mannerisms of the people involved in the video, I can imagine it wasn't very nice. They were doing rude hand gestures and that toward the window. This was captured on a surveillance video that obviously the person had put up in their house to protect themselves, which was lucky because I suppose if she'd gone to try to explain to somebody what these people were doing, they wouldn't believe her. This is the proof. This video shows them pulling, must be parked around the side corner, but you see them emerge from behind a wall into the backyard. Young girls holding a sign, like again, I don't know what's on the sign, but they were throwing hand gestures and talking amongst themselves, and the father was laughing and thinking it was a great big joke. So the child was going along with the father because obviously she's been manipulated by him to disrespect this woman, again, probably because he could get over the relationship breakup. This video showed you them doing this, but then it showed you them walking off, only to emerge again in a few minutes' time with a camera, where the young girl's standing on the edge of what I can believe is the porch of the house, holding up the sign, doing a rude gesture, and the father taking a photo of this, laughing and thinking it's a huge joke. There was glimpses in this video, it was only slightly a glimpse, where the father had walked off and you see the child look back toward the house. And for a split second, you see this whole child's mannerism change into what I would perceive as her second guessing what she's just done. And then the father's called out something and she's proceeded to follow him and then do rude hand gestures back to the house and start laughing again. This shows you the immaturity of this narcissistic father. I would explain he's this poor excuse for a man, because he wasn't a young man, he was an older gentleman. I'm not quite sure of age, but I would say he'd be in his late 20s, early 30s, maybe a bit older. The child seemed to be like she was in her 15, 16s, maybe 18, like she was a young adult. But it showed you the behaviour of this so-called father manipulating this child into going to taunt this woman. Like they've gone out of their way to go into this person's property, which is trespassing, to video themselves or take photos of themselves with derogatory message, whatever was on the note, which again I said mustn't have been very nice just by their mannerisms, and then to take photos of him like a trophy. Now this poor excuse for a human being that calls himself this child's father, one day, mate, this is going to come back and get you. This shows your maturity, this shows your arrogance, this shows your narcissistic traits of manipulating a young child, young adult. Obviously you've been doing this for quite a long time. All I can say is you've just proved why this woman left you. You're a sad, sorry piece of, call yourself a man. No wonder she left you, man. If you're doing this now, I can imagine what she had to live with. Wow. You'll end up with a nice, happy, lonely life, won't you? And one day your daughter will wake up and she'll realise what you've done and how you've tried to put a barrier between her and her mother. And this child, like I said, she wasn't a little girl. She was a young adult. went along with the father because that's what you have to do when you're an alienated child and you're thrusted into positions where you have to please your alienator, the one you have to live with, to go along with whatever they want to keep peace, so you're not on their tail end of receiving the nastiness as this excuse for a man obviously could do. To deliberately go onto someone's property and get your child to do what she did shows your colours, mate. Shows your colours. But then you didn't stop there, did you? No, you just went back and obviously got a camera or something and came back and made sure you got a trophy picture. And I'm pretty sure you probably sent this to the woman or posted it all over your to your friends or whatever. I really don't understand what your excuse was, taking a photo. But this is just your classic narcissistic man. Couldn't get over a relationship breakup. And he's proved to whoever sees this video exactly why he was left. And there's a warning to everybody out there to watch out for this gentleman, or excuse for a man, because you don't want to be the next victim. Now for the young girl, I kind of feel sorry for her, because many alienated children are manipulated into doing things to harm the other parent or to make the other parent feel basically horrible, unloved. We hate you, we don't want you, you're not my mother, you're not my father, whatever the case may be. And the father's sitting there laughing about this. Like, wow. Later on, this child's going to realise what's happened, and all I can say is you can only burn so many bridges so many times, and sooner or later that bridge will be closed for good and you won't have a way back to your mother. Now, you're your own person. You have free will, especially at the age you're at. Now, I don't know, you could be just a 14-year-old and you're still trapped there with that person calling himself your father. But regardless of your father and your mother's relationship, don't get involved. That's between two grown-ups. And if a grown-up's trying to drag a child into their adult issues, then I've got to say you've got to question that adult. I really do. You know, this video was very disturbing, and it really set off a lot of anger inside me. One, that this poor woman had to be exposed to this kind of narcissistic behaviour and taunting by her, not just by her ex-partner, but by her own child. By her own child. And that's what the guy had planned to do, is to make this woman feel like she's hated and horrible, and we're all against you now. We're going to come and harass you. Trespassing, harassment, yeah, stalking. There's a whole list of stuff that can go there, and it's on video. Like I said, mate, you've just put it out there on what kind of person you really are. And to do this to your child, well, you're an excuse for a father, honestly. Do you think just because the relationship doesn't work out that gives you the right to do what you did? Really? Because there is no excuse for that. No excuse whatsoever. You have an opportunity to be an example of how, when a relationship doesn't work out, and how you should approach things. Yeah, and yes, it hurts if you break up with somebody. That's part of life. And knowing who's the right partner, you have to go through a few relationships to find the right one. Hence why you shouldn't rush out and have a child. Don't rush out and have sex. Because no one knows if a child's going to become of that. Get to know each other before you become too involved or too intimate. Because sometimes the relationship doesn't work out, and relationship split-ups are hard enough as it is, let alone having a child thrown in amongst it. So if you can put off having a child for a while and you might get to know each other properly, all the pros and cons of each other's relationships, their personalities, all that sort of stuff. But you don't involve children in adult things. that child had a right to be part of that mother's life too, regardless of what the relationship was like. The father was just being an arsehole, basically, and teaching his child that that's what happens when someone leaves you, you turn into an arsehole. It's just a sad spot in that child's life, because she could have been taught on how to deal with that a lot better. This is where you need to break the chain. That child will now repeat that circle with her own kids. Teach them that that's how you deal with relationships split up. You get bitter and horrible and try to cause as much hurt as you can. And that's sad. Because just because a relationship falls apart doesn't mean you can't still be friends. Anyway, just a short one today. I want to touch on that one, because that one I felt needed to be talked about. It was just another example of the narcissistic father's behaviour and the way that he's manipulated his daughter to harass her mother. Instead of going, that didn't work out, well, okay, we just visits. There's no need to go over that boundary of doing what he did. And to the mother, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your child is making you feel like she hates you. But I believe there'll be a time where she'll work it out. And just be honest with her. Be honest with her. Because it'll happen. It will happen. Anyway, guys, thanks again for being here. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, I welcome you to do so. This is growing, and I'm happy it's growing, but we can grow some more. Let's get this talking out there. Let people start realising that there's more involved than just a relationship when there's children involved. These people these children have their lives changed because of a narcissistic, bitter parent, robbing them of happiness, turning them into spiteful children. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in my next one. Thanks again for being here. Bye.